honestly think it's the biggest threat, even that our nation has, even more so than terrorism or Islam.
I believe what I was told, which happened to be wrong, but I believed it. When I was 15, I put a .357 Magnum in my mouth and was going to pull the trigger and blow my head off.
When I was growing up, there were stereotypical images of a gay guy, and you were either extremely effeminate or you were a leather-clad biker, and there was nothing in between, and I wasn't either one of those, so I can't be gay, but I like guys.
It was a choice on when I was willing to accept myself. Growing up in a small town, I did not have a lot of mentors or models of individuals who were gay. So I think I wasn't quite sure how to be gay, and that probably doesn't make sense to folks who aren't. When you're in a heterosexual world for the most part, or a village or a town that's mostly heterosexual, you don't have a lot of individuals to model.
I mean, early on when I graduated college, I had a couple of girlfriends, but looking back on it, I was just forcing myself to fit this societal mold that was there, but my heart was never in it, and I ended up meeting my first boyfriend, first guy that I fell in love with, my first real love. I was probably about, again, I'd have to do the math, but probably about 23, I guess. So, I mean, I just knew. I probably, that's probably the age that I admitted to myself that I was gay. Although I had the feelings, I'm sure, from high school and junior high school, but it was a different time.
So you go through life just assuming that you're either different or that what you're feeling might be not what you should be feeling, or you're really not feeling that way if you look at or have an attraction towards the same sex.
I was completely convinced that God preferred me dead than gay. I struggled from that point on, though, about my identity and my faith, because I knew I loved Jesus, and I knew He hated me because I was gay.
I had dated women, I had dated men, but I wasn't quite sure how to be gay or how to be open with myself and the fact that I was attracted to women. So I was in a closeted relationship for 9 years. It was in retrospect, a very stifling relationship because I wasn't able to really experience the full relationship because my patterns, my behaviors were modified because I wasn't open to my friends, I wasn't out to my family. So going through that, I still felt that I wasn't necessarily experiencing a gay life. When that relationship ended, I actually got married to a man. And it was during that process of being in that marriage for about a year where I realized I wasn't happy and I wasn't living the life that I really wanted to lead, or in a complete way that I felt I should be able to lead it. I said, I've got to live a life that's a life for me. And I took a trip across country, explored that journey myself, and came back and said, you know what, I don't want to be married to a man. I'm attracted to women. I need to figure out how to work through that.
I am openly gay. I don't use the word lifestyle because that sounds like it's a fashion choice, like, I wear Prada shoes, which I don't. I am openly gay, which means that I'm just married and a mom and a pastor. I haven't always been open about my sexuality. Growing up in the South and being a Christian and being around a lot of Christian fundamentalists, I was terrified about sexuality of any kind, gay, straight, anything in between. But the only time I heard anything about sexuality, it was always don't, just don't. And if you're going to, there's the proper way to do it, which is you marry someone, not your gender, and carry on from there. So I never heard anything from my denomination, my church, about sexuality of any kind. When I would visit friends' churches, the pastors would rail against homosexuality. And they always seem to, you know, put an emphasis on the sexuality part of that, homosexuals.
People should know about gay people that we're just people.
Probably a lot of them think that they never met a gay person. So let's say it's 8% of the population is gay. That means that there are about 20 million to 25 million gay people in this country. There's a good chance that homophobes' child was taught by a gay teacher, or if their house caught on fire, that a gay fireman helped put out the fire, or if they were in a traffic accident, that the EMS technician that helped save their life was gay. But you know, they don't wear a badge on their chest or a tattoo on their forehead saying, you know, gay guy.
Obviously, gay people are different, just like people of different skin color, of different backgrounds. But I think sometimes we label folks so much that people have the expectation that they should view somebody as different. I don't feel misunderstood as a gay person. Sometimes I feel misunderstood as Jen.
We just happen to be two women who have made our lives together. We didn't choose to be gay. We just chose to not go crazy because we were gay and to have a life.
See, that's what people don't understand. Okay, inside gay relationship, it's not like, okay, I'm the chick and then he's the dude, or he's the dude, I'm the chick, and we just switch roles back and forth because it's fun. That's what we do. No, that's not how it works. He's my best friend.
I think that everybody should come to a gay pride parade to experience something different and broaden their horizons, open their minds, and see what other cultures and lifestyles are about. Thought it was fantastic. I love all the people that came out to support it, especially the straight moms that came to support their children and the lifestyles that their children live.
I think I went out to lunch with him and I said, Dad, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is you're going to be a grandfather. Bad news is I'm gay. But he was totally cool with it. Then I think I told my mother after that, and my sister told me, oh, I've known for like 10 years.
I've been open with my mom since I was like 14 years old. Is it my fault? No, it's not my fault, it's your fault. You know, the whole thing, many different stages, but once they actually come to terms that this is life and that there's nothing in your past that you could have done with me growing up to ever change that, the person that I turned out to be, and I'm not that bad of a guy, you know, besides, you know, being a homosexual thing, but I don't even find that to be bad either.
Once I could accept the fact that the stereotypes really weren't the population of lesbians, for example, and once I realized I could be me and still be attracted to another woman, it was a huge relief. I mean, it was just a huge relief. And I think then my own baggage was, now that's a relief to me, how am I going to come out to my parents, and what are they going to say, and how are they going to handle it? They were very accepting. And my sister kind of looked at me and said, Jenny, it's about time you come out. And it's really helpful for me and happy for me to see you happy.
And don't misquote me as wanting to hurt homosexual people in any way. That would be a dastardly lie. My approach is live and let live. I just think my children and your children will be much better off and much more successful getting married and raising a family. And I don't want them to be brainwashed into thinking that homosexuality is an equally valid or successful option. It isn't.
And our first date was at her church. She's a good Episcopalian. And we had our first kiss in the chapel of that church, where we married 2 years later. And, you know, we created a life together. We created a home together. We followed in our parents' footsteps. You know, I was raised in a family. I wasn't raised by a pack of wolves. I was raised in a family where my parents took us to church every Sunday. Mama made the home. Dad worked. We were raised with morals and values. We were raised with discipline and high expectations. And we were raised to value marriage.
I've been in my relationship for 2 years now, which is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. We got married last August, and I can't wait for this August to be a 1-year anniversary. I have no problem with gay people that want to have children. If they can have all the kids they want. I love kids. I have no problem with kids. I'm great with kids. I do not want kids. I have my dogs, and I'm perfectly happy with my dogs. You know, people can't handle their kids, whether they're gay or straight. So why would you put yourself through the aggravation?
Rob and I are proud parents of 5 kids, 5 wonderful kids that we all adopted at birth, but our oldest kid now is 25, and we have a 21-year-old, 17-year-old, and 16-year-old twin girls.
But when Jan and I we met 31 years ago, we knew that was the only thing was missing from our family. Because we became a family when we had the 5 kids. Jan and I, we were a family. At the moment, we took commitment to care for each other.
John, you're not going to believe this, but a birth mother came in. She's pregnant with twin girls. Said yes right away. But again, Rob wasn't sure because the game plan was to wait 4 years, and the game plan was for only 1 more. But I went out and I bought a triple stroller. And I brought it home, opened it up in the kitchen. So when Rob came home that night, he saw the triple stroller there. And he said, fine, let's do it.
Well, for me, being the primary care is a lot of work, but I'm going to tell you, I would not trade to be a homemaker parent for any job in the world. It's the most rewarded, it's not the easy one.
I got to say, we attracted attention when we went to the mall. And me and Rob and 2 older kids and then 3 kids in a triple stroller, it's hard to miss. And I remember once a couple of ladies came up to us and said, "Oh, so what is this? Is it mom's night out and your dads are taking care of the kids?" And Rob or I said, no, we're 2 dads, these are our kids. And we're prepared for some negative reaction. The response was, "Oh, God bless, 5 kids, how do you guys do it? I could never do 5 kids." And so as I said, we've never experienced any negative comments or any prejudice at all.
My wife very much felt called to be a mom. And we talked about all our various options. So we decided that my wife would carry our child, and she did. And at that point, I was still closeted. I mean, everybody, I always spoke in favor of gay rights, gay ordination, all those things, but I never stood up and said, by the way, I happen to be a Christian who is also a lesbian. So when my wife was past the first trimester, we started telling people. And I told everybody at my church in the Bronx. I went face-to-face, one-on-one with every single member, and I said to them, I have amazing news to share with you. Pamela and I are married, and we are going to have a child. People may not know what to do with 2 women or 2 men, but they know what to do with a baby. So this congregation in the South Bronx, where there are persons who come from cultures from nations that are not normally gay-friendly, Jamaica, Libya, all nations throughout Africa, the West Indian, the Caribbean, because they knew me and because I had been a very effective pastor for them, they had to decide between issues and a person. An issue had suddenly become a person they loved. And so they were willing at least to make an exception to what they had previously believed. And so my family was able to be open and present in that place. The strength to do these things, to be an advocate, to stand up for myself and for my family and for others, there's strength when you're right. There's strength knowing that your position is right. In our country, our laws are there to protect those who are disliked the most, who either are unpopular or who say unpopular things, so that we have equal protection. And in the Christian faith, our identity as Christians comes in our baptism, not in our sexuality. I baptize babies, and I don't say to the parents, have you figured out if this is a gay baby or a straight baby? It's a baby. It's a kid, and we bring this child to God, and God gives this baby everything. Inheritance with Christ, salvation, and hope. And God doesn't go, sorry, this one might be gay.
Everyone in town heard about me. I was like the only gay person like in the town. I had to leave the state. I got spit on. I had people try to run me over. I had people try to light me on fire. I had people try to beat me up. I had people go past my house. They would throw rocks and break my parents' house. They broke the windows. They flattened my tires. They pulled gallons of paint on my car. I was abused.
Homophobia kills people. It really does kill people. The logical conclusion of that kind of hatred is for people like me to either kill ourselves or for people who are so terrified to kill us. That's the logical conclusion to all of this. It's not Christian, it's not American, it's not democratic, it's not right. It's based completely in fear.
That's why it's so important to be out and proud. And whatever you're doing, whether you're a county legislator, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a policeman or a football player, I think that if you're LGBT, you should be out and proud because you can have a much broader impact.
Be yourself, no matter what. Whether you are the fairiest fairy of all fairies, whether you are the hoodest of all hood, and whether you are whatever, just be yourself. Love yourself, know who you are, and other people will know you for that.
You have to reflect internally and figure out, am I comfortable being who I am? And then I think making sure you have a support network is important. And whether you find that through sports or music or theater or drama or politics, you need to find that support mechanism.
Find your cheerleader. Hopefully it's your parents. Hopefully it's your family. If it's not, find your cheerleader. And, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself.
And then I think you have a responsibility in just being a human being. Your responsibility isn't to being gay or to being in the military or to being heterosexual. Your responsibility is to being you, being a forthright human being that treats people with respect. So I don't know that there's anything special to being gay except that you accept yourself. And if there are those that shun you or that look differently, help to educate them about it. Help them see you as an individual, not as a homosexual.
But I would rather be bold in trying to make positive change and occasionally be wrong than to sit back and do nothing and always be wrong. There's a great quote from Dr. King. It said something like, in the end, it is not the words of our enemies that we will remember, but the silence of our friends.